Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a fantastic day. As always, please remember this is not financial advice. I am simply a person standing in front of a camera talking to you about investments that I am making. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Welcome back to another what I'm buying this week. I've noticed there seem to be, at least to me, a lot of buying opportunities, and I will be buying a lot. I think over the next several weeks, I'm going to be upping my investments a lot more. The first thing that I'm going to be buying this week is the Ron English Ukrainian poster flag. I don't even know exactly, I don't know the exact title for it. I'm sure it's popped up over here or over here, wherever I have more space. Ron English is a very popular artist. We've gone over that before in many other videos. I think that personally, a lot of people who are on VV don't tend to know the popularity of a lot of other artists who have made it onto the platform. A lot of times if you hear discussions as to what's big on VV, it always tends to be the Todd McFarlane Batman, the very first Superman one, the very first Spider-Man, and Marvel Comics #1, and a couple of other things which we've also gone over before as the blue chips. But a lot of times when these other artists actually make it onto the platform, I think they're kind of like the word's not a novelty, it's more like well, I don't know what that is, so I'm not going to really think that it's worth that much. Ron English is incredibly well known in the art space and has been for a very long time, and I assume he will be for the next however long there actually is. On top of that, at the same exact time, this was also released as well during the poster release. It's these like, they're called Grins, I believe. These like grinning sunflowers. If you've ever seen Ron English before or collected Ron English before, you know exactly what these are. Even the physical forms are also quite popular. He has them in like a SpongeBob form, like a sunflower form. You've seen them all before. These are worth a lot of money in the real world. So I had assumed that an NFT special edition of these for a particular cause would have done very well. But if you've been on the VV app very recently, there's a lot of confusion and annoyance with what's been going on, what people are asking for, what is not being done. So I think a lot of these things are, in my opinion, being looked over. I think I purchased one of the posters and two of each of the flowers. There's a gold version and a silver version. I think the difference is like the grin that they have on them. These were instant buys for me, especially because the price was actually below retail, which has happened for a lot of things on the app recently. Once again, I think people have simply gotten discouraged because of the things that have been appearing on Twitter about the app. Nothing hyper negative. It's more so people have been asking to be able to cash out, which is a pretty big thing. And the VV team keeps saying that they're going to do it, but they've also been saying it for like over a year now. So if you are going to be investing in VV, understand that there is the gigantic risk that you may not be able to cash out. As the time of me making this video, the cash out is mainly, they're doing like a trial period with a select number of people who are testing it out, but that's also another conversation. So yeah, definitely the Ron English poster. I bought everything else from Ron English before. All the other stuff, I think people are undervaluing them because they simply have no idea who he is. Next on the list is Strange Tales number 180, the first appearance of Gamora. If you are a Marvel fan or Marvel MCU Cinematic Universe kind of person, you definitely know who Gamora is. She's incredibly popular. She's one of the cast members, teammates of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I myself do not care for Gamora's character. I know, shocking, but I don't buy things simply because I believe, wow, if I don't like it, I can't purchase it. There are a lot of things I don't like. I've still purchased them and I've made money off of them. I think as we get news of the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie being released, Gamora is obviously going to be in it. There's been speculation for a long time that she's going to get her own TV show, own kind of spin-off movie where she's traveling through the universe. I'm not really sure. This comic is worth, an okay amount in the real world and not one of the highest, of course. I think I bought 2 or 3 of these as like a really hyper speculation. She's a very popular / important character. I don't care for her myself. I don't even care for the comic. But I bought them as a sure, why not? Maybe in the future the price will go up. I think when I purchased them, I think they were $12 or $13 on VV. The price has gone up a slight bit since then, $2 or $3. But these can easily go for, because this is also, VV releases these, what do you call them? Like limited editions on their platform, where sometimes most comics will have an edition size of 30,000, which is super small compared to the real world. But they'll have certain ones that are, only 10,000 editions, and those kind of rile people up. So even with I believe it's only 10,000 editions, the price is still super low for a very popular character. But that's just how investing works. Next on the list, we've gone over this before, and I'll say it again. It is X-Men number 4, the first appearance of Wanda, the Scarlet Witch. If you have not seen the trailers or the speculation based around the next Doctor Strange movie, I implore you to do so unless you don't like spoilers. Not only is she a major character and all the other things that we've gone over in the other videos, rumor has it that she also just signed a 7-year contract deal with Marvel, which tells me she's probably going to be getting her own, well, we know that season 2 of WandaVision is going to be happening. She's probably going to get her own movie, as many of the other really popular characters have done. And I would logically assume if you're signing a contract for 7 years, they're probably going to be using her for about 7 years. So this particular version of Wanda is going to be around for a very, very long time. For those of you who have paid attention to what's actually happening on the app, you might have noticed something interesting, which I've talked about before on the other channel, and how whales work. A lot of people aren't paying attention to how many editions are left on the app. A lot of people who are discussing or talking about it on Reddit or Twitter tend to say, well, the prices keep going down. I bought it for 65 and now it's worth 28. If you look at the amount of actual availability left on the app, the numbers for the A++ S tier comics continues to decrease. While the price goes down, the amount of editions are also going down because there's no big difference for a whale or anyone who's trying to invest in a $5, $6, $10 even difference, i.e., if you see that the floor price is $22, random number, however, you know that at some point this comic could, or any item could hit around $100, which is totally believable. You don't buy at the floor price, you buy lower down the line where the price is actually a bit higher. So people every day keep seeing it go from 24, 23, 22, it's only $21 now. However, the ones that are worth or going for 30, 32, 35, they're still being bought up because you don't buy the lowest amount to make it seem like there's no demand for it when there's actually tons of demand. You're also going to be seeing this as well for the first appearance of Miles Morales. I know I'm talking about it again. And Ultimate Fallout 4 on the app. Pay attention to how many editions there were 4 months ago to now. I think there's only 300 something left for 2 million people across all 5 editions, while I think a couple of months ago there were 700 or 800 of them available. Always something to think about. Definitely buying. I'm probably going to try and get 2 or 3 more of the first appearance of Wanda simply because, I think as time goes on and when I believe the VV market does recover and it's washed away a lot of the negativity from it and we have cash out and all these other things, this is easily going to be a $200, $300, $400, $500 comic on the app. and none of them will be available because they're all being bought up right now behind the scenes, or right before your very eyes, depending on how you want to look at it. And to finish things off, the last thing I'm definitely going to be buying this week, and I'm kind of shocked. The word's not shocked. How do I say this? I wish that more people who use the app actually paid attention to the things that are being put on the app. I've noticed, and I'm sure you have as well, a lot of people keep announcing or writing on social media, oh, I can't get a drop, I can't get anything. A lot of the drops recently have even been going for like under actual drop numbers. So something will drop for $7 or 7 gems. And then, immediately people are putting it back on the app for $4 or $5. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to be buying as many as I possibly can, not joking. We're going to be talking about that in some other videos as well, because a lot of the comics I've bought like 70 or 80 of, because I'm like, you don't really understand exactly what you're selling. And Marvel Spotlight number 5, the first appearance of Ghost Rider, is one of them. So me and a bunch of other people who collect comics were talking, and we were like, hey, this seems super undervalued because the real world price of this comic is astronomically high. He hasn't even been announced to be in a movie, in anything. This is simply the hype from the actual character within the comic book world. What happens when he gets put back into, if you pay attention to the VV drops, the actual comic book drops, they're coinciding with other TV shows and other movies that are coming out, which we're also going to be talking about in another video because it's so obviously clear. As far as we know, VV is being told by the people, as far as we know, from Marvel when to drop things. They're not dropping these things willy-nilly. They all have a purpose, and these are probably all going to be characters that are also going to be in other movies and TV shows and be around for a very long time. Anyway, I'm rambling on. I am going to be buying an enormous amount of Ghost Rider comics. I don't know the exact number. I'll tell you right now, it'll probably be anywhere from 30 to 50 on the first go, just because as a real world comic book collector, when I look at the app, I always imagine myself walking into a comic book store or even perusing around on eBay. I'll be completely honest with you. And a lot of the comics, I've sat there before and I'm like, imagine walking into a store and seeing hundreds of copies of this on the shelf for $10. It doesn't make any sense, especially when this comic is going for thousands of dollars. So of course, I'm going to be buying a huge amount of them. Righty, that's going to do it for this video. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Tell me what you plan on buying this week. It could be any type of investment or even just from VV. I think a lot of these particular videos, for those of you who don't know, I'm very much into NFTs. I collect them and I also make them. A lot of the especially licensed ones are incredibly undervalued, in my opinion, not financial advice. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.